Don't you dare! Don't you dare!
He took down 9 of the next 11 batters. So whether it was pretty or not, it happened. But
Matt, hold on a second. Tommy Edman was Spider-Man climbing the wall to make every out.
yeah,
We're talking about 400-foot outs on the wall that Tommy Edman is going to win the Gold Glove over.
well, can I get there? Let me get there.
How dare you?
How dare you?
The point that I'm
Of
going to
anybody,
make.
you should know. Of anybody, Matt, you should know.
You.
Wait. Is Tommy Edman?
I don't know.
Wait, is Tommy?
I have no idea.
Tommy
You
Edman. Who did he
should
play
know.
for?
He was in the World Baseball Classic, wasn't he?
It wasn't for Africa.
That was such a weird moment.
He didn't play for Africa. That's for
pointing
sure.
at you.
We didn't have a team.
God.
He made the outs happen, but look at what it took to make it happen. I mean, do you get paid hazard pay when you're out there playing center field and they're doing it like that? I mean, listen, the Braves, in my opinion, are the best team in baseball. And you had a chance. I get the sentimentality. I guess this season lets that happen, where you could say, you know what? Yeah, we'll let you, owner of an 8 ERA, go and pitch against the better team. Because what does it matter?
Yeah.
What does it mean? Throw him out there and do it. I don't know, but that Acuna home run to lead that game off looked like somebody shot a missile from space.
Yeah, dude. He teed that up for him.
Oh, my God. I mean,
Yeah, I don't know. You just got to laugh about it now, I feel like.
You laugh, you
laugh.
cry.
well,
I'm not crying.
Luke and the Savior Baker had a big game.
It's annoying.
He's up to 209.
Wow. Is it annoying, though, or is it interesting?
If I'm a team...
What else is interesting about the Cardinals right now?
No. I know. Again, I'm looking at it like if I'm in the locker room, it'd be annoying. It just would be annoying, I think. It just would get annoying. Getting lit up like a Christmas tree every time. It's always about him. It's always something, that, the other. You're like, oh, God. You know?
What bothers me, and I'm not the guy that I've never been the guy that rips on broadcast and whatnot, but they just go out of their way to act like he's pitching okay. You know, he gave up a 3 spot in the first, and then he's cruising. No, you weren't cruising till the end. That 5th inning, you give up a bomb. You almost gave up 4. Tommy Edman, I mean, the outs, wasn't every out at the warning track?
It felt like it.
It seemed like that.
Yeah.
And then in the next inning, it's just bombs away. So, look, he's trying. It doesn't matter at this point. I know everybody loves Waino, and it's not the way to go out. But also, like, the best fans in baseball, we joke, they're smart baseball fans.
Yes, they are.
They're watching the games.
Well, I tell you what, they're headed to Cincinnati now, and you know what that history has been like for them. Just pitch him against Pittsburgh and let him get his rocking chair while he's in Atlanta, but don't send him down there and do it, because that's when it gets bad. You know, I mean, it's terrible, but then you go out there and you look at a place facing a team like that, like, good Lord, what are we doing?
Because he still thinks he could do it.
Well, the bigger
He does.
No, I know.
No, I think
Well,
he
the bigger
100%
problem,
does.
and the bigger
Exactly.
problem isn't just that he thinks he can do it; it's also that Ali enables it to happen.
That's true, too.
Ali, but hold on.
But
Thank
Ali's
you.
rolling
It's
his
not
eyes.
his choice.
But
But
he's rolling his
also-
eyes, though.
You could tell in Ali's post game, he's not happy.
But
about
He's
it.
also-
annoyed, too.
Yeah, it's
You could
not-
tell.
yeah.
You could tell specifically last night. Same answer. Yeah, the 2 homers chased him.
So
Yeah,
Ali,
2 homers
Ali,
chased him.
Ali goes to Mo and the powers that be and says, "Listen, we got to yank him. I'm done with it." They're gonna say, "No, you're not. He's gonna pitch." Ali's not making calls here at this point.
Has Ali said that, you think, to him?
Who knows?
I think Waino's making the call at this point because the season's over.
Go ahead, Cole. What do you got to
Am
say?
I
You're
wrong?
banging the
Am I
dang-
wrong?
No, I'm just saying that it's ridiculous that he has that kind of leverage at this point, and
I agree.
It's
Because the season's over, though.
okay. That's a little
That's
bit
what I'm
different. Well, okay, 100%. If they were in a playoff run, this would not be happening.
I think he runs the show no matter what.
Which is silly to me.
I think he runs the show.
No.
I
If
think
this
he
was
does.
no. If this was a pennant chase,
He'd be out
no
of there.
chance. And by the way,
Okay.
can I just say something real quick? I didn't mean to
Okay, I
cut
get
you off.
that.
Hold on, because I was curious about this. You don't see pitchers with 8 ERAs that are still making starts in September. So I was thinking to myself, I'm like, what's the worst ERA of all time? Now you got to remember, it comes down to qualifying pitchers
Ooh,
because
minimum
usually
pitch.
if your ERA is 7 or 8, they stop letting
Pitching
you
you.
pitch. So I looked this up. This is from High Heat Stats.
All right, which Pirates pitcher was it?
Well, look, the 10 worst ERAs of all time. So this is qualifying pitchers. You got to throw at least like between 130 and 100. Looks like 160 innings, whatever.
From 1906.
No, a lot from the 30s, but then everybody from basically steroids era on. There's a bunch of guys. Like, Daryl Kyle, Lima time.
That year was brutal.
Jose Lima, LaTroy Hawkins.
Oh, I remember.
2 Jose Lima years.
LaTroy Hawkins was a starter?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
What is it? Like
So here it is.
7?
The worst ERA ever for a qualifying pitcher.
Show my youth.
Les Sweetland in 1930 through 167 innings with a 7.71. Now, I think Waino's around 90 innings, so I don't think he's going to qualify. But you're talking about, I'm not using hyperbole. We're talking about arguably right up there with one of the worst starting pitching seasons in the history of baseball, which has been going on for about 150 years. That's not even hyperbole.
Is that good?
That's all.
It's the opposite.
It's only 150
Cam.
years.
The
It's
opposite.
historic.
It's the exact opposite.
It's historically bad.
It's arguably,
Yeah.
if he were to qualify, it would probably be the worst ERA in the history of baseball.
It's time for me. I'm going to do a
I
little
think he
homework.
can still do it.
We have a new chase that we're going for.
Listen, you got to find ways to make
ridiculous.
the season interesting. It's a long haul.
You know,
This is interesting.
It reminds me of. Listen, I'm always trying to think of something in hockey that you could do, like bringing up like Marty Brodeur and playing him, and playing him every like 4 games just to get try to get a record, and he's Daddy Padre. He's getting lit up, and everybody's like, "Oh God!" Then you got to pull him, put somebody else in there. You're always dash 4 that night. Everybody in the locker room's like rolling their eyes, always about him. Then just it'd be annoying.
Here's a good example.
Sorry,
I think.
Marty, I love you. You're in the extension right now, probably dominating, but
Here's a good example.
He's on the call. He just called in.
I feel like it'd be a hockey player. Let's say a hockey
one.
player had like a consecutive games played streak.
There you
and he was
go.
39 years old and slower than molasses.
yes.
But you played him 7 minutes a night for the consecutive game streak, and every night he was a -3.
Yeah, exactly.
Something like
and
that.
he can't turn his hips, and he's getting old, and he's not
Falling
going to
down.
Yeah, no, Charlie, that's actually happened.
Oh yeah.
That happened with Kessel wasn't playing good. Then they skewed it, where he just he
Didn't
took
he
one
start and then leave?
He took one shift and he gets off, and they fly him in a private jet down to go see his baby. I mean, that's ridiculous. Who's a cat from Florida and Philly? I forgot. We had him on the pod. I forgot his name. They're finally like, okay, enough's enough. We got to sit you. And then it's weird with those, besides like a J-Bo who blocks shots, like, as a defenseman, how the hell do you play that much and not get hurt? It makes you wonder. It just makes you wonder.
Saying they're soft.
Kind of.
What if they're just built differently?
I saw the way that guy's built. I'm forgetting his damn name.
J-Bo was wiry strong, though.
Wiry, strong. Like, I look at J-Bo
Lean.
differently, but I look at some of these other guys like, Phil Kessel. Like, you're not blocking shots.
I mean, J-Bo literally
Keith
risked
Yandel?
dying.
Keith Yandel. Good job, Cole. My bad.
Well,
dude.
Flipper Bean, thank you.
Oh, thanks, Flipper Bean.
But J-Bo basically put his life on the line, literally, for the game of hockey and almost died.
He did. No, he did. And
Plays hard.
J-Bo played hard, man. And he was penalty killing and stuff like that. I don't know how the hell he did it. I don't. But I look at Keith Yandel, though, I'm like I saw him spin off guys and stuff. Like, you blocking shots, baby?
Phil Kessel, he's
flamingoed.
pretty ripped.
He could dunk. Isn't that weird?
Some people
Are you
are just
serious?
He
like
could
that,
dunk,
man.
dude. He's a weird-looking athlete, but he's very, very athletic.
He's got hops.
Yeah, if you could
Fast
jump
twitch.
that high, you're an athlete, dude. I'm sorry.
What's the text line saying about Waino? Are they
Oh,
sticking
they
it?
said no. They love
Oh, Hockey Bob, but he had
it. They love it.
a good one. He said, apparently Adam Wainwright is no longer a suitable MLB pitcher anymore. Perhaps a job as a Little League World Series batting practice pitcher is more realistic, and no, he is not Hall of Fame worthy.
See how good you were at reading that, man? Damn, you flew through that.
Good job.
That was really good.
I've messed
Maybe
up
make
many
like
a text.
yeah.
All right, Hef Jones
What's going
says,
on here? Are you trying to get him to read the text?
I don't know. I've been really bad. I've been brutal lately. And I kind of ruin like
Cam,
the
the
humor.
message?
Yeah, and the humor at times. Because,
Cam, I hate to break it to you, but this might be your Wainwright thing. You got to power through it. We're going to keep putting you out there.
man, I don't know.
It's better for the show, though.
At least
Yeah.
I know when
Right.
I'm bad. At least I know. His name was Dixon Maez. Oh, wow.
Good old Dixon.
Oh, they got me on that.
I don't know, man. I feel bad. I really do.
I don't.
But he's also doing it to himself.
I don't feel bad at all.
Well, when I say feel bad,
at
it's
all.
just it's such a
annoying.
terrible way to go out.
Then don't do
It seems beneath Adam Wainwright and the dignity of the pitcher and man that he was for
Yeah.
almost 2 decades to go out like this. But again, it's good radio content.
No doubt.
athletes are delusional. He's not any
Like this?
different. Yes.
He's delusional.
Because-
Yes,
No, I
he
know,
is.
but I'm saying
He's had a few good starts recently, so in his mind, he's thinking, why can't
Yes.
every start be like that?
I get that, but
It's the-
usually after about how many starts has he made? Almost 20?
delusional.
I'm figuring that out right now.
I think he's made
I'm to
about
have my
20
big
starts.
stat.
He can't let it go. He can't do it.
Do you think if he had 201 wins right now, do you think he still does this?
No.
No way.
But
No way.
what's he going to do? Like,
I don't think so. I
retire
hope not.
mid-season?
Yeah,
Actually, I
that
don't know.
happens.
A lot of people do that.
That happens often.
Yeah.
Fake injury.
Ken Griffey Jr. did it.
Yeah,
There's
fake
plenty
injury.
of people that did that.
That's like
Hey,
the ultimate.
enough's enough. at
Putting your
times.
tail between your legs.
Enough's enough.
It's just retiring mid-season.
But your season's over.
yeah.
The team's bad. I mean, the team's bad. It doesn't matter.
Cole, when you get older, I'd retire right now. I'd walk out of here right now if the right thing happened.
Getting lit up.
So his
dude.
next start will be his 20th start of the season. So he's at 19 right now, and he's going to get 20. He's going to get
What's his
21.
record?
He ain't qualifying, sadly.
I'm gonna guess like 3-11.
He's 3-11 after last night, I think. Yeah.
Okay.
Wow.
Yeah.
Record?
3-11 right now. 3-11, 8.19, 49 strikeouts, and a 1.98 WHIP.
Craig Langford, I hope Waino opens number 198 Steakhouse and embraces it like Bernie Mac and Mr. 3000.
Let's just say
the rest
198 is
of
the
it.
new 200.
You got to read the rest of it.
Well, the text came in and it went to the bottom, so I could. It also looks like the stadium only goes up to section 197. Make the bullpen seats section 198.
Oh, dude.
Do you know how hard it is for your ERA to go up when it's 8.1?
Yes.
It's hard to do that.
Well, Pizza Walt's like, do you think Waino's on the fence of a Hall of Fame consideration? If yes, does this season absolutely destroy his
Like
chances?
a Cardinals Hall of Fame?
He's
No-
not even
no
close.
chance.
No chance in hell.
If he would have had, let's say, a couple years ago when Waino started getting good again in a later age, you started to do the math. If he had like 3 more good seasons, but he's not even close to baseball Hall of Fame.
Does he have a Cy Young?
No, but he also was Waino was one of the guys that fell into an error blocker too, because he lost straight up Cy Youngs to Clayton Kershaw multiple times. He missed the 2 years. He missed one of the World Series year. What was that 11? He was out, and then he missed the year.
With the Achilles.
Yeah, with the Achilles. So I mean, he's missed 2 full years in his prime, and then got Cy Young blocked by just historic Kershaw years. So some of that goes into it, but also at the end of the day, this is going into it too. So I did it, and I did this criteria for it via Baseball Reference. So this is just Cardinal pitchers in the regular season who have started at least 19 games all time. Highest ERA.
Can we guess?
Well, we're in the middle of one. You established already that we're in the middle of the highest one ever right now.
Well, it's the highest maybe in the history of baseball.
So
he's okay.
So the next one was a season that I remember because I was just like, this is another season. I was like, this has got to end. That was Andy Bennis in 2001. 7.38 over 19 starts. He won 7 games and lost 7 games though. So they must have been hitting for him that year, like demons out of hell.
Run support.
He gave up 30 home runs, walked 61 guys, and struck out 78. And
That's also the steroids era.
But he was 33 years old too.
The best
at that
era.
time.
That was the best era.
The best era.
So you've had 9 Cardinal seasons with ERAs of over 6 all time. Anthony Reyes had one in 07 with 20 starts. Jason Marquis had one in 06 with 33 starts.
The Marquis.
You had a couple of guys from the 1800s and another one. Yeah, that's it. All the rest of them were in the 18. Oh, Nellie Bryles had one in
Good old Nelly.
Whoa, Nelly.
1970. But it gets kind of brutal in here. You got Red Donahue in 1897 who lost
Great guy.
who lost 35 games. So he
He was a cobbler. He made shoes, by the way.
but had 38 complete games. So at least people would have gave him credit for toughing it out.
I like to go back in time and just go to a baseball game.
I'm gonna
Just
stay
check
right
it
here.
out.
Tell me how it goes.
Yeah,
He
that's
died of
right.
dysentery.
That's right, Matty.
Wainwright's win percentage is the second lowest in such seasons. Anthony Reyes in 2007 went 2-14 with for a good old 125 win percentage in the middle of this whole thing.
I don't feel bad either, Cam. Just look at his smug expression every time someone asks a question after the game. Like, he's thinking, you better be careful. Don't ask me that. Narcissist, get out of here, Sharon. Hey, girl, I see that too.
Is it smug?
It is. Like, I get to see him. That's why everybody's like, they're tiptoeing like,
Can I go a different way?
man.
I think it's Waino trying not
Get
to
on
go.
him.
I think it's Waino trying not to go postal.
Well, whatever. Okay, well, again, you're doing this to yourself. Is anybody going to be like, is it over
Why?
now?
No,
is anybody going to go up and say,
it's
is it
sympathy.
over now? Wait,
They're not afraid.
Are you
No, it
done?
is. This is the Emperor's New
Are
Clothes.
you going to be done?
One at a time. We're all very fired up today, but I can't even understand what we're saying.
The Emperor's new clothes.
Yes, this is when the emperor's walking around naked, and everybody's afraid to tell him.
Yeah.
Remember the book?
Yep.
This is the story. Wayno's done. Everyone knows it, but no one can apparently say it to him except for people on the radio.
Matty, go down to that locker room and just stand there and just say it. Wayno, let's hang him up.
I asked Nate to do this months ago.
Nate probably would do it.
Yeah.
Let's hang him up. Hang him up. Do yourself a favor. Do the organization a favor. Let's hang him up, baby.
How about this?
And tap him. Tap him like he's still on the mound, and then scoot his ass out.
Thank you for suggesting that for me. Let me try something else. You, ex-professional athlete, go to him on a level. I can relate to this, man. It all comes to an end one day. It gets you past Union Station, gets you to Busch Stadium, and you do it.
Yeah.
Because I was at Busch Stadium on Sunday.
We just checked a lot of boxes.
And you just take care of it.
It's over.
Yeah, just you go.
Wayno, it's over.
I think you patting him on the head might be a little different than me doing it.
Whew.
It's over. Accept it.
Was it over when the Germans bombed Pearl Harbor?
It's over.
No, he doesn't touch my
Germans bombed Pearl Harbor.
All right.
What movie's that from?
Animal House.
Oh, yeah.
Come on.
So, worst season of all time.
So
ERA with 19 starts.
it's got to be him, right?
It's him.
Well, what I was bringing up was all of Major League Baseball history.
I am looking at all of Major League Baseball history right now.
Oh, so for 19?
Yeah, for a minimum of 19 starts, this is the highest ERA in Major League history.
Yeah, you were talking about LaTroy Hawkins. I looked it up. His ERA was like 5.57 or something like that. I'm like,
In 1999?
Wayno's got him eclipsed.
But you have to be a qualifier. That's the thing.
Right.
And I created these qualifications
Yeah.
too because I needed to see it for where Wainwright's at in his season.
And I think the reason I bring this up is because, and I think everyone knows this. It's really weird to see any pitcher with an 8 ERA still throwing in Major League Baseball.
Yeah.
But I think when Matt reads the historical context of not just the Cardinals, and then I read all of Major League Baseball, which I believe goes back to 1869, if I'm not mistaken. I know that Cincinnati
Long
team.
time ago.
Whenever we're talking 150 ballpark years of
that a shot at my
baseball,
trivia?
this is right up there with one of, if not the worst starting pitching season in the history of baseball.
I mean,
I think he'll turn it around.
But somebody
make
is
it-
letting him go out there and pitch.
I'll make it. Well, I'm telling you who it is.
I know, and I agree.
It ain't Ollie. Ollie ain't making that call.
100% I agree with you.
I'm gonna just do the modern era. I'll take the 1800 guys out of it. Modern era starts in 1901 for whatever that's worth. Yeah, I mean it's the 8.19, and then Chris Tillman at a 7.84, and then
That guy was an all-star one year.
1896.
If Waino throws a 9-inning
2017.
shutout, so if Waino throws a shutout, maybe he can beat Tilly there.
All right. So how many
It'll
pitches
happen.
would that take?
190.
Gosh.
It is comical at this point. That's what I'm saying. It feels beneath. So Adam Wainwright for 20 years was the model pitcher and citizen and building wells and all that. And now what we're watching every 5 days is beneath the man. It's
say
beneath
this.
the person that he carved out.
Delusional.
It is the fourth time since 2000 that you've had a guy with an over 7 ERA. I mean, and I think that your ERAs are staying up because guys are just like, really, get the hell out of there.
Is it Rockies pitchers?
Surprisingly,
Getting
no.
rocked.
No Rockies are in this.
Who
The
is
first
it?
Rocky is at 15, the immortal Peter Lambert, who was Highlander, right? No, that was Christopher Lambert.
I like Outlander.
Peter Lambert is a Rockies pitcher, right?
No, yeah, he's the Rockies pitcher. Christopher Lambert was Highlander.
Here's a funny tweet. Text, I should say. Can't wait for Waino to tweet in October that he was pitching on the wrong side of the rubber the last 4 months, and the Cardinals will give him another $17.5 million to come back.
That is
Well,
funny.
From Iowa.
Well,
if
one
I
thing-
had some, I'd give it to you, homie.
One thing we know that isn't beyond the Cardinals is that they will commemorate something.
Ascension tickets.
So what are we going to get? Next year, are we going to have bobblehead with the head turned around the wrong way?
What if they re-signed him?
Well, hold on.
Yeah, watching the ball
Let me ask you
travel
this.
over the fence.
Let me ask you this. Okay, now I'm going to put this at a probability of 5%. Is it the craziest thing in the world to think if Adam Wainwright finishes this season at 198 or 199? Is it crazy to think that he wouldn't take a 1-year deal with Pittsburgh or somebody like that for $1 million to try to get 200? Would he do that?
I don't think so.
But is it crazy to
I don't think
suggest
anybody.
that?
I would.
The Braves would.
No, I told
No,
you.
the Braves are good. I'm talking about
I know, but
the
they'll-
A's.
but
Like the A's, the minimum.
Like when Babe Ruth played for the Braves and they brought him back.
What if he keeps bouncing around? He's like the kid that shows up in like the Tuesday morning skates that's really bad, and he's on your line. You're like, God dang it, and he moves over, and you try to, schedule and not tell him about it and stuff like that. It just becomes annoying. He's that guy. He's a lot of things right now.
It's sad.
I'm surprised. Yeah, it is.
But it's interesting.
It's goofy.
It makes me watch. To be honest with you, last night you had the opener of the NFL season, and I was more into watching the Cardinals because of Adam Wainwright starting. And you hate to say it, but it's like a car crash when you're driving by. You can't not watch.
100%.
So is it fair to say, since we're talking about historically bad seasons in the history of baseball, this is the worst season for a St. Louis sports athlete ever?
Ooh.
I mean, there might be some Rams tackles that might have something to say about that.
Who was the first-round pick from Florida State that we always...
Alex Barron.
That he had a false start every other play.
Alex
Barron.
Alex Barron and Jason Smith, the converted tight end, who was the number 3 pick.
How about Greg Robinson?
Number 2.
They turned him into a guard at first.
So the moral of this story is, if any time you need to bring things back to the level, just recall the St. Louis Rams.
This is This is the worst ending to a superstar in St. Louis sports history.
Yeah, who else would be up there with that?
I mean, maybe some other guy like
McGuire's last year.
Domestic violence or something.
McGuire's last year was pretty brutal.
And he walked away from money, remember?
Yeah,
Big Mac.
he knew.
A lot of money.
Yeah.
McGuire's last year was pretty brutal, and that's when they made the trade for Will Clark, who came in and just went
But didn't he also
insane.
have like 30 home runs when he retired?
And I think he hit below 200, but he said, look, man, this is a bad look. His back was probably barking.
His last year, he hit 29 home runs because I think Matt could just lay the bat over the plate and leave the park. But he hit 187. Ooh. He struck out 118 times in 300 at-bats.
And he knew he was done.
What did he slug, though?
492.
Now, let's look up. I'm curious. Look up Kyle Schwarber's numbers this year. They're probably similar. And people are saying he's a fantastic player.
What's he making, 20?
Ish. Isn't he hitting below 200?
Kyle Schwarber's slug is 475. He's hitting 195. He struck out 177 times, but he's got 41 dongs.
So think about that.
He's McGuire.
Big Mac retired because he was embarrassed and probably banged up. But he retired having the same season that a lot of people are celebrating Kyle Schwarber having right now.
Big Mac was 37 and had back problems since he was in his mid-20s.
Was McGuire also hitting a leadoff for the Cardinals at that point?
No.
Probably not.
No.
But he knew it was over. He knew it was over, you know.
5 ABs.
I mean, he had been an all-star a year behind, and it was what it was. I mean, there's guys.
No, I'm taking the money.
When you go through the, like Miggy Cabrera.
I ain't retiring. Oh,
God.
Think about that. Miggy Cabrera has been stealing money for 5 years, at least.
Why did he sign a really long extension?
Oh,
Yep.
30+ million a year for like 12, 13 years or something.
And he's been really bad, and the only reason he's been playing is because he still had $30 million a year on that contract.
Wow.
And
Chasing numbers, 3,000 hits, 500 homers.
And
Is he cool?
He's awesome.
Yeah, great guy.
Well, he's really cool. If you look up his history.
Was there some DV back in the day?
I mean, I think he had a separate family. I think he had a couple. I think he had a couple of the Deweys.
A couple D-dubs, yep.
You can Google that.
I mean, he's one of those. Hey, can we see if Manfred will take an exception and court his last 2 bullpen sessions as wins and let the AARP stay at home in Atlanta? This guy's been done, Wombat. The team is gifted. Oh, sure. Had nothing to do with your crappy pitching. I really feel bad for the cat who has the hardest job of trying to phrase the questions so it doesn't offend the egomaniac washed up in a denial selfish pitcher. Drafting his post-game interviews is a serious grinding, so ridiculous. And then Chip Carey chirping Braves fans because they booed Ollie as if they should boo any manager after all the ejections Bobby Cox had. This is a long one. God.
All right.
The next leveling pandering to the
I thought you were
Pearl
reading multiple
Clutchers.
texts.
So many in denial in that organization.
So when you
I
look
should have
at
had you read that. I butchered it.
When
man.
you talk about folks that are collecting checks, Joey Votto's making $25 million this year, too. Joey Votto's hitting 200, and his season didn't start till like May.
Was it 2 years ago that he had the bounce back year? It was really good.
Yes.
Then he got banged up. Miguel Cabrera hasn't had a good season where he was healthy since, I'm looking this up right now.
2019.
No, you can go, but he didn't play that year. He was hurt the whole year.
Yeah, that's true.
He hasn't had a good year since 2016.
Oh, wow. Making 30.
I mean, he was league average a couple of those years.
What teams he play for?
Detroit.
The Tigers, eh?
First ballot guy, but man, I mean, it is what it is.
Compiling these last.
Wainwright's got to walk off. Votto's got to walk off. Miggy's got to walk off. Like, come on, man. Like, all these guys have one thing in common. They're of the basically almost, if you take Cole's skew out, the same age as us.
Yeah.
Playing ball in the pros. That ain't how it works.
How many more years is on that contract with Cabrera?
None.
I think this is it.
Oh, it's it.
So
he showed up.
conveniently, he's retiring this year.
He showed up to get every dollar owed to him. And you know what? Part of me respects the hell out of that.
I would do
A
it.
lot of money, man.
I'm
You paid
here.
me.
Actually, he has a vesting option for 2 more years. So
that's
it
right.
won't vest, but that'll show you. He's had 7 straight bad years, and they still gave him potentially 2 option years if he was good.
Yes, because those 2 years are dependent on him being a top 10 MVP finisher.
Let's vote for him just to see what happens.
Yeah.
Not going to happen.
Bring him back.
My dad loves him, by the way. That's why he watches. This is why baseball is weird. My dad still watches the Tigers games because of Miguel Cabrera, even though he knows he's horrible. Like, if Miguel
what's he
Cabrera
do?
gets a hit, because it's like you're just thinking about 10 years ago. He's like,
He had a 4-hit game
he's
recently.
like, I love Miggy, man.
Didn't we just go through that with Yachty?
Pretty much.
Yeah.
But my dad still watches the Tigers, and he loves Miguel Cabrera, despite the fact that he's horrible.
Doesn't he do like goofy things?
Yeah, he's just like a fun guy.
Yeah.
He's a clownish guy.
He messes with people.
Got a
He's
couple-
lovable.
Got a couple
first baseman
families.
anymore, but
He's got a lot of families that love him.
Google that. I think it's something of that ilk. I can't remember
He's a
exactly.
lovable guy.
I mean, hey.
You know? Oh man. Let's see here. Let's see here. Dun 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 dun. I had to pick up a train crew in Moberly yesterday and take them to Kansas City. Dropped off the crew about 2:30 p.m. Drove by Arrowhead Stadium. The parking lots were already packed and traffic was awful. That's a long one, Hockey Bob. Damn.